All right.
Good morning, good afternoon, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Happy weekend, everybody. Thank God it's Friday. All right.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're getting excited. And we know this is the season of love that some set of persons came together and agreed to be a season of love.
I don't know why they use about a year to celebrate love when love should be every day.
Every day, don't know.
It is fine.
But since they've agreed, let's join.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
And we'll be having interesting topic and series in this month of February, and we're excited. We don't want you to miss anyone.
We don't want you to miss anyone.
Yes.
So
Welcome again to episode 2
episode
of the
2.
Joseph podcast. Yes. And so today we have an interesting topic. Yes. When we say we are in love. When we say we're in love. Now this topic aims to address the traits, the tools, the life that needs to be cultivated before entering the entanglement of love and everything that has to do with love. What are the things you need to build? What are the things you need, the tools you need to, before being entangled in love? Yes, so that's what we'll be looking at today. What it means to say I love you. Okay.
You are staying at me like this. You understand?
Please.
All right. This is actually an interesting topic. I know it's supposed to come in series, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
this is the first of it. So love in itself. Love.
What is love in itself?
It's
not that.
That question is hard. That question is hard. But realistically speaking, I understand in a general perspective that love is not just an affectionate emotion. It's not just a tender feeling. We have love in itself is sacrifice. Love in itself is sacrifice, and it's a sacrifice that is quite deep. That's quite deep, and based on what we're actually going to talk about today, since we're addressing the tools and the traits that is necessary for one to be in love, I think it should be fully narrated now as the tools and the traits that is required for somebody to consistently be ready for sacrifices. That's
love is sacrifice.
Because love is sacrifice. And so this is just a way of preparedness, and I think it started last week. So let me start this week.
Let me start. Okay. Where I would like to point to say I'm in love is to come to the consciousness of being self-aware. Yes. Come to the consciousness of being self-aware before any form of relationship. How much do you know yourself? How aware are you of yourself? Do you know what triggers you? Do you know how to handle your emotions? Because these are the things you need to work on before, like, to know that before you even enter any form of relationship. What are your triggers? How do you handle a situation that is not palatable to you? You need to build yourself. You need to be so conscious of yourself. You need to understand this before entering any form of relationship.
Yes.
You need to understand that you own your happiness, and
you
don't need
happiness.
someone. You don't need to depend on someone to be happy. You don't need someone validation to be happy. So how self-aware are you of yourself? I would say that
it is necessary.
Yes.
Total wholeness.
Exactly.
Having to know that I myself am complete.
Yes.
I don't require another person to be complete for me.
How stable are you?
How stable are you? when alone. A lot of people
When
requires
alone.
a lot of people require stability.
Ah.
And when we talk about stability on all sphere, emotional stability, financial stability,
All round.
how stable are you alone?
Alone. Can you stand alone?
Yeah, that's the thing. Can you stand alone? Because I know last week when we were talking about concept of marriage and we're giving instances in marriage,
you draw straight
and I draw straight on somebody. Yeah, that is necessary. But then, we said, before you come into that sphere, there are some certain things that you should have for yourself before you start considering bringing others into it. Else you become, in the economic world, there are assets and there are liabilities. Why some ladies become liabilities is not necessarily because they cannot do so much. It's just because at some point what is being done for them is more than what is brought back.
Come a parasite that's always eating.
There's always eating on your waist. Is very stressful. It's very, very stressful. So wholeness, I like that. Self-awareness, wholeness, self. That's good. Another thing again we would like to address is having a certain act of empathy. Having a heart of empathy. I think I'm going to talk on this and give another point that just come into my mind. So, but let me address this. So I'll just talk on the two together.
Okay.
And then I'll allow you. The part of having empathy is that, empathy in itself talks about feeling the pain of others. Your ability to understand because you are now fitting into someone else's shoes.
Yes.
So that addresses empathy, and this one is necessary before, while you are still having that feeling of being in love. Reason being that when you have empathy, you're able to feel the pain of others, making it easier for you to understand others. And when you understand others, communication becomes better.
Yes.
Communication becomes smooth because you are not speaking without understanding. You are speaking now because you are already feeling the pain of another person.
Yes.
So it becomes easier to relate more. It becomes better to talk more. It becomes easier to trust more. So that is empathy. Then another thing again I would like to address again, because while I was speaking about empathy and I just related to the concept of having to feel the pain of others, it came to my mind about being friendly. Being friendly. One other thing again one should have while you're having the feeling of love is knowing that you should have a sense of friendliness. The Bible was speaking and he said, he that must have friends, he said, must first show himself as friendly. It is necessary that you show yourself as friendly. It is actually very necessary. A lot of people actually, when they start they don't really have any form of communication with anybody, and they expect love to appear automatically to them. And even though, let's say, because I've actually seen scenarios where people actually get to fall for the quiet ones, the ones that sit at the back and don't talk, no problem. But then if that continues for a time, you actually realize that you come into a world where whoever it is you're going to be with becomes your all in all. You have zero life with nobody. And at such moments, when dealing with crisis and that person is not there, because now you are already lacking an ability to have relationships even with others that is friendly. You don't even have a sustaining measure for yourself, and you start seeing this loneliness that delves into depression, that makes a lot of people stay and they feel like they cannot talk to anybody because of the fact that they've closed every door of friendliness around them. So friendliness is actually, these are one of the tools that you should build in a period where you've not come into relationships yet. While you are still considering it, one of the things that you should imbibe as a system, as a way of life, is friendliness. Learn to be friendly to people. It's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. At this time, if you're still single, one of the things you should be doing now is to be friends. It's not to be friends, rather to be friendly with people. Learn how to be friendly with people. It's a good thing. Even for the sake of emphasis, talking about this whole friendship thing, I was reading about some statistics recently on different things that make a lot of relationship or marriages break, and I realized that there is a high statistics. In fact, I think, let me read from something I wrote. One of the notes I have, I said, key findings on infidelity with friends He says over 50% of people actually cheat many times with their friends. I'm coming on something. I want to make a point that is very, very crucial. He said 80% with acquaintances, higher risks are with friends. A survey of 5,000 individuals found that 23.8% of cheaters specifically identified the affair of partners as their partner's friend. This is where the problem comes in. Because people have not learned friendship, first of all, before entering, before coming into relationship. When they are in relationship, they don't know how to sustain their relationship with friendship. Let me explain. Love in itself is not what sustains. That you see that feeling of love, that first feeling of love.
Can die fast though.
It's not what sustains the relationship in the relationship.
No.
What sustains it is the friendship.
Yes.
It's the friendship that sustains. There are many days you will stay and you will not feel like you're being in love with your that butterfly that you are feeling. There are days where hunger strike will kill it. There are days where hunger strike will kill the butterfly that is flying in your tummy. And when it kills it, what sustains it is friendship. And guess what? Because you failed to learn it when you were supposed to learn it. Someone else that is being friends with your partner becomes the reason why they leave that relationship and start cheating outside.
So please, while you're single, build on this thing.
Build on it. Know how to be a friend.
Keep companies.
That's it.
Not at every slight thing you move. If you enter marriage too, at any slight thing you move, you cut off.
That's the thing.
Yes.
All this whole cutting off, giving up on people, it's a very bad thing.
Yes.
Because if you've not learned how to stay, address matters, because it's in friendship you actually see people bring up problem. Friendship, the truth in friendship can be very, very real and painful.
Yeah.
If it's only a friend that can look at you and tell you that you don't have sense. And they will say it in a way that you will be angry but still not be angry. They are the only ones you can pick up a truth from and not feel defensive about it.
Yes.
And if you have that kind of notion, if you learn how to live that way, both from the receiving end and from the doing end, you come into a relationship, it is easier to communicate without defense and without quarrel. So it is easier for you to call your partner and tell your partner some certain things in love. When we talk about this thing about having to communicate in love, is a friendship definition. Because only a friend can tell you the truth that will pain you and still tell you, is there anything that you cooked in the house? I want to eat. It's only a friend that will tell you that kind of thing. A friend will just finish telling you the truth and still tell you, I'm hungry, come on, all this talk you just made me say, do now, I want to eat food. And you see that sincerity in love because they really care about you, about your growth. And that kind of thing can be portrayed even when you come into the space of love. So start building some certain culture, because there are people in their own relationship, in their marriage, they don't know how to talk. So at the slight of every issue, rather than address it, they lock it up. They keep it in and they just keep quiet. And to them, that's the best way they address a matter. Whereas not addressing it how they should address it. And when that becomes a failure, they start telling you start hearing things like men are scum, women are bad. All of those things start coming up because you fail to understand how to be friends with your own partner.
Yes. Like you said, this is a two-phase topic, and we really want to expand. I still want to expand on that wholeness. Like to say that I love you means to have knowledge of yourself enough before you can even be able to learn someone else. You need to have knowledge of yourself. I think we would like to emphasize that on that more. Having knowledge of yourself, being a total package. That's it.
It will sound like many times you want to pick cite examples from scripture, but the Bible said that in the book of Hebrews, no, in the book of James, the Bible spotted out in the book of James, he said that do not be a hearer alone. He said be a doer. He said for they that do not do, he said they are like a man that stands in front of a mirror, and then after the man looks at himself in front of a mirror and he turns, he says he forgets how he looks like. The next question that comes now becomes, how does doing relate to how a person sees themselves? Because that's actually what the Bible played out there. He said that they that don't do, he likened them to a person that stands in front of a mirror, looks at the mirror, sees himself, turns and forgets himself. What it implies is that when you've not learned wholeness in yourself, you lack the ability to show another person love.
And it will even be hard to see the good in another person.
It will be, thank you.
Yes.
It will be hard because now you've not even learned to see the good in yourself.
Yes.
So you cannot measure out the same thing you've not seen in yourself in another person. And it's even difficult to even show the person a good thing. Because that's why some people come into a relationship and it's difficult for them to express love.
Cannot give what you do.
Because they don't have love for themselves. Let's not even talk for, like, they don't have love for themselves. You see this concept of self-love. They don't have it for themselves. So wholeness is actually a necessity. I like the fact that you said let's emphasize on it.
Yes.
On it.
It's a foundation that you cannot overlook.
It's a foundation. So, moving on. One other thing that is necessary. Okay, we've spoken about wholeness. We've spoken about empathy. We've talked about friendship. One other thing that I think this, I don't know if this might be the last, or unless you have something else, is having a sense of faith, a sense of purpose before you actually come into.
Having a sense of purpose.
Yes, having a sense of purpose, having a sense of why are you alive? Let's not talk about why are you in love. Why are you first of all alive? Why do you exist? You know, when you're able to define who you are and your assignment, your purpose, your faith, your beliefs, before having to entangle yourself in any form of relationship with people that causes them to define or define you for yourself, is actually a necessity. Faith, having faith or a sense of belief before you come into anything, while you are still in that position of I feel I'm in love, ask yourself this question: what are those things I believe in?
Yes.
Because if you don't define them for yourself, get ready for someone to define them for you. And when they define it for you, because
you accept it.
You accept it.
Yes.
You accept it and you have to live with it. And many times, because it's not your way, it's not your own way. And this is the truth here. Sometimes that somebody does not have a belief does not mean they don't have a belief. There are a lot of things that are unspoken. Because probably maybe that's not the way you grew up. It starts becoming a thing you cannot complain anymore about. Because now you have entangled yourself in a place you should not be. Because you never defined frustration begins. And when frustration. That is just
So please define your purpose for yourself. Define it. Know why you're existing. Know what you can offer. Please, before entering the entanglement of love, know it. It will save you. It will save you a whole lot.
Even if when Eve came to come and meet. Well, that's true. When Eve came to meet Adam, Bible said that Eve came as a helpmate. That God presented and said, I have given you a helpmate.
Yeah.
Now, Eve coming as a helpmate. See, let me tell you the reality of life here, so that we understand sometimes. You know, the scripture in itself explains itself, but you need to actually take your time to think on it through the help of the Spirit. Nobody offers help if they cannot help themselves. That's the reality. I will not seek help from somebody that needs help.
Or you need help from a 2-year-old.
Or you need help from a 2-year-old.
Come and help.
Like I want to carry a 50-liter gallon, and I'm asking a newborn.
Or do you know how?
To come and help me carry a 50-liter. It's not possible. It's not possible. So what it implies is that Eve in herself already understood how to help herself.
Yes.
So don't think, as much as the Bible acknowledges and calls her a weaker vessel, does not mean that she in herself was so weak that she could not help herself.
No.
So have a system of belief, have a system, have a pursuit, have a goal, have a vision for yourself, have a dream. That's basically what faith addresses. Your faith, your belief addresses your visions, your goals. What are those pursuits? What makes you who you are? What makes you stand up every day from your bed? Because if you don't define some of these things, it becomes a problem when you come into the space of another, or bring somebody into your space to do that. It becomes a struggle, because a lot of people over time, that's why you hear statements like, I'm finding myself.
In marriage.
in marriage.
Or I'm leaving this marriage to find.
I'm leaving this marriage to find myself. The question now becomes, what were you? Who were you? All those while where you were being born up until now, were you lost? Why did you not find yourself? You get that kind of statement. So you need to actually have, and that's why I placed it as faith, because your understanding of faith defines a lot of things about you. It systemizes how you move. It systemizes how you move, your culture. Yes, culture, they say, is the way of life. But no culture is void of belief. Every culture has a belief, and that belief guides what you call the way of life. How you wake up, while you pray, if you will pray, that's it now. Why you take some certain things, why you eat some certain food, it affects your feeding, it affects your routines, it affects everything around you. And if you don't define these things, like I said, if you come into the system of being in love now with somebody else, the person affects you, and before you know it, you are overwhelmed. Chaos everywhere. And when that happens, I start seeing people being in what is supposed to be a relationship that is supposed to be a lovely relationship, but they tell you, while I was in that relationship, I was depressed. While I was in that relationship, I was feeling lost. I was not doing anything for myself.
Please go and find yourself.
Please find yourself. Please find yourself before you enter marriage. Find yourself before you enter marriage.
Necessary. It's been a beautiful conversation.
Yep.
Thank you so much for staying with us.
Thank you all so much. Please, if you've not subscribed, probably you saw our link and you're viewing this video like that, please, we implore that you kindly subscribe to our channel so that you can be getting notifications from us when new videos pop up.
Yes, and if you've done that already, thank you.
Thank you. Like, share, comment.
Share your experiences with us.
Yes.
Someone could learn from it in the comment section. Yes, thank you. And also, we're here for counseling and for prayers. Yes.
This is a systemized platform where we don't stand alone. What it implies is that the vision of this platform is not just to come to train, no, but also to invite people who, through their experiences, can also help build. What it means is that there are people that there are many questions you can feel free to ask. Understand that if we're not able to answer some of those your questions directly, we can actually give reference and bring people that can address them even through this platform. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. I will see you next week for the next one. Next week's session, we're talking about
what it means to say I love you.
Thank you so much. I love you too. She was waiting for me to say it too. I wanted her to say I love you, so I'll tell her I love you back. I love you too.
Love you too. So, thank you so much.
Next week we'll be talking about I love you too. See you next week. God bless you. Bye.